This Australian woman who says that she has had sex with more than 300 people in 1 year and found the experience to be, quote unquote, empowering. Introducing you guys all to someone you didn't need to know. Her name is Annie Knight, but I had to learn about her, so you do too. Take a listen.
Yeah, sleep with different people.
So in that, let's say it's been like a year since you've really embraced that. How many people would you have slept with in that year?
Yeah, give us some numbers.
Probably 300.
Jesus.
In 1 year.
Would that be the average, or is there like a big lump sum in one session?
Oh, in a day, 5 in 1 day.
I told ya.
Hi, my name's Annie, I'm 25 and I am based in Gold Coast, although I sort of live between Gold Coast and Melbourne. I do social media full time, influencing on TikTok and Instagram. I also do a little bit of OnlyFans. I would say I'm a very driven, passionate, happy, outgoing person. Unfortunately, I've not had much luck in the love department. I actually have never been in a serious relationship before, and I am now 25 and I'm very much ready to get into a relationship. Especially around this time of year. It's December, it's Christmas, lots of people are getting engaged, getting married. My friends are all coupling up and I feel like I'm sort of the last one left. But yeah, I feel like I've got so much love to give and I just need someone to share my life and my love with. In the past, I have always gone for the bad boy or the F-boy. Unfortunately, obviously that hasn't worked out for me. I don't know how. I must have some sort of radar on me where I can just pick them out of a crowd, and I don't do it on purpose, but it always seems to happen. But I'm finally looking for a nice guy. I want someone who's going to take care of me and give me the love and respect that I deserve. I want to find my forever person and someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So yeah, I hope F-Boy Island is the place where I find my one true love.
This woman is Annie Knight, a professional OnlyFans thot, also known as the most sexually active woman in Australia, as if that's a badge of honor to be proud of. You're basically just advertising that you're the biggest hoe in an entire continent. But in this society that has completely eradicated every form of shame, however necessary, this woman quickly became the poster girl for modern day feminism. This is the textbook example of what feminism considers a strong, independent, and sexually empowered woman sticking it to the man and defying the patriarchy. How heroic. This woman is feminism's current mascot for strong, empowered modern women. But as she's now learning the hard way, this title comes with a heavy price. She can't find a man who will settle down with her. What a surprise. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Today's comment is by Diamondback2085, who said, "Years ago, I was accused of assault by an employee after passing her for a promotion. If it weren't for a few good people and a staff willing to defend me, I would have lost everything." Women perform character assassination quite commonly. Ensure your reputation is spotless and never hire a woman. Jeez, thanks for sharing that, and I can't imagine the headache you had to go through. That just screams that she didn't deserve that promotion. So man, please don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or just one that really moved me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button too, as it helps out the channel a ton. Now, let's get back to the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
I can't even begin to describe how dumb you need to be to choose the kind of lifestyle she chooses, and then wonder why you can't find a man. This is some kindergarten level self-awareness, and a total lack of even a basic understanding of what men want in a woman. But I guess feminism has programmed women to never, under any circumstances, consider things from a man's perspective. So here we are. This is a woman who has crafted a career by reducing herself to a series of holes and then wondering why men don't love her for her personality. Professional comedy writers couldn't come up with a plot this funny if they were given 10 years to come up with one, but feminism is the gift that keeps on giving apparently. According to an article in the New York Post, An Australian woman who hit headlines for sleeping with 300 people in a year has set herself a new challenge in the quest to find lasting love. Annie Knight, 26, is currently on a mission to go on one date per week for 12 months, documenting the journey for her TikTok followers. The blonde, who said she has been single for 3 years, admitted that she is inexperienced when it comes to courting potential paramours and wants to expand upon her skills outside of the bedroom. I've never had much of a dating life. I used to go on about 3 dates a year, so that's why I want to do this now, declared Knight, according to the Daily Star. I've never been much of a dater, so I wanted to give myself an incentive and am holding myself accountable by posting the reviews of the dates online.
This is date number 7 of 52 dates that I'm going on this year. So this date was actually with date number 6 girl that I went on a date with last time, which is the first time I've had a double up date. I don't know if that says something or not. I'm trying not to read into it, but I really did just think she was a really great girl. And unfortunately, the guys that I had been on dates with before her just weren't the right type for me. Maybe more so than we think. Now, there's a lot to unpack with this day. We went out for dinner. We had a really nice time. It was about 3 hours. We did end up kissing. We got a little bit tipsy, which is always fun to do on a date, and I always enjoy that because I feel like you get to see another side to them a little bit more relaxed, and I feel more relaxed, and you just like open up a little bit more. Now, unfortunately for me, every time I go on a second date with something, with someone, sorry, not something, go on a second date with someone, something happens to me, and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like my body gives me the ick. I feel like it's because it's trying to prevent me from being happy. Low-key, which is like quite deep.
Did you notice the Freudian slip? Instead of saying that she went on a date with someone, she said something, and it wasn't a coincidence. She has essentially destroyed any chance of her finding a lasting connection with a man because she has completely reduced men to objects that only exist for her validation. Feminism claims that women can't objectify men, and it's completely something men do towards women. This is yet another double standard amongst many, and it's entirely wrong. To her, men are nothing but a penis and an ATM. Many women think of men this way, and this is something that isn't talked about anywhere nearly enough. She even openly admitted without a shred of shame to sleeping with 5 people in a single day. She's famous for sleeping with 300 men in a single year. Wow. And the feminists are praising this woman as being strong and sexually empowered. I guess it's okay to be sexually objectified as long as you're getting paid for it. What a shining example of the best modern-day woman hero that every little girl can aspire to become one day. If this is what all women become, this society is completely and utterly doomed. This is what this society has come to, praising a woman for racking up an insane body count and spreading it all over the internet for everyone to see. As long as she's not cooking dinner for a husband or taking care of the kids, pretty much any kind of behavior is acceptable, right? And now this woman is looking for love, and she's finding the process extremely difficult. Nobody is taking her seriously, and she has no idea why. She's also carrying a continent's worth of emotional baggage. She outs herself when she says that she gets the ick at random times for no reason at all. She's emotionally damaged goods. Australia's most sexually active woman would likely make any therapist retire on the spot. She even admits this in the article when she says that it's really bad. I probably need to see a therapist, she added. I do see a therapist actually, but I don't talk about relationship stuff. Maybe I should. Yes, you should. Don't you think it's interesting that the strongest focal point of her entire existence is something she conveniently avoids talking about in therapy? This is not a coincidence. She's got some serious trauma and emotional damage that she isn't talking about. Don't be surprised if in a few years it all comes crashing down and we see her sob story on a podcast somewhere where no man will date her and she regrets her entire life up to that point. But that day is not today because she's pretty much a millionaire at this point.
I had a feeling I'd get some haters saying that I'm lying, so here's a screenshot of the last 30 days. This is from the 19th of September to the 19th of October. I've made 104,000 USD, so that's about 160,000 AUD in the past 30 days. I expect that to go up once we get the full month of October, so once it gets like 1st of October to 31st of October, I expect that to be around 134,000, which is about 200,000 AUD, which is exactly what I said. So am I lying? No.
She makes a crazy amount of money online from being a professional thought. This society praises terrible behavior by rewarding this kind of self-destructive activity with massive sums of money. If feminism truly cared about women the way it says it does, it would step in and talk to this woman. But it doesn't care about women. It cares about furthering the spread of the ideology through control and power. And if a woman ruins her life, they don't give a shit, as long as it makes men look bad and makes feminism look good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not giving women a free pass by blaming feminism. Women consistently make some horrible choices that they should be held accountable for. But you can't argue with the fact that feminism has spread through society and toxically impacted every aspect of it. And this is just one of the results of what we're seeing. Now, I can almost hear a feminist screaming, but why does society shame women for sleeping with everyone? That's unfair. A man sleeping with people is deemed okay, but when a woman does it, she's called a slut. And there's a good reason for this. It's because the barrier to sex is extremely low for women. What it means is that you have so little self-respect and morals that you allow any and every man to enter you without any requirements. This does not indicate that you're a person of good moral character, and that's something we respect in society. And the most horrific thing is she's letting all these dudes raw dog her. She's got to be spreading more than love. If I were CEO of a company making contraception, I would find out if she's using our product, and if so, offer her a sponsor deal. She is really stressing the limits of whatever contraception she's using. But despite getting banged more times than a judge's gavel, she still has all of the most ridiculous dating standards that modern women have. I don't know what's wrong with me, Knight candidly confessed, saying she felt duped by online dating. I see someone online or whatever and I get this false depiction of what they're like in my head. Like I make up what they're going to be like, and when they don't meet that expectation, I get disappointed. And the funny thing about this is she frames it as though it's the man's fault. But this is all something she's constantly making up in her mind. We know modern women have completely unrealistic and impossible dating standards. This woman is no different. But notice what happens to her strength and financial independence when the idea of paying for a date comes up.
I went on a date the other night and he made me pay. It was $500. So I was talking to this guy on Hinge for like probably a week or so and decided to go out with him in Melbourne while I'm here. We went out to a really nice restaurant, had a great dinner. Like he was pretty good. Like if I had to rate the date, I'd probably say he was like a 7 out of 10. Like it was fine. We had lots of cocktails, a bottle of wine, like it was lots of fun. And then I get up to go to the bathroom, I come back and the bill's on the table, which like, that's fine. And it sits there for ages. And like, we're still talking and like whatever. And I'm kind of like, oh, this is like getting a bit awkward now. Like, is he going to say something? Is he going to put his card down? Like, I don't expect the guy to pay, but I always expect them to at least offer. And like, if we go halves, like that's so fine. I'm more than happy to do that. Anyway, eventually the waiter comes over and she's like, are you guys ready to pay? And he just looks at me and goes, she's paying $500. And I assume that obviously he's seen all the stories and stuff about how much money I make and just thought, I'd cop the bill. Like, I don't care, I paid the bill, but like, what? So safe to say I will not be seeing that man again.
She was absolutely dumbfounded that she, a literal millionaire, might be expected to pay for a date. It's like her brain can't fathom the idea of paying for a date despite her being a strong, independent woman. The thing is, she's literally a millionaire. It's entirely reasonable for her to pay for a date or two, but no, her man has to be making more money than her. The ridiculous standards of modern women have affected every woman. Hypergamy is a law of the universe and it applies to every woman, according to her. I have only just started dating again, but the reason I'm single is, it's hard to find a guy who ticks all my boxes, which is honestly crazy because the boxes are very basic. What she means by basic boxes aren't at all basic. I guarantee you this woman has a ridiculous laundry list of unrealistic requirements. She absolutely wouldn't date a man under 6 foot who isn't a millionaire, and she knows it. But one question I had from learning about her story was, what does her family think about all of this? And sadly, I got my answer.
A news reporter showed up at my dad's house this morning asking for a statement about me. They literally rocked up to his house, which is 2 hours out of Melbourne, and were like, did you know your daughter's on OF? And that she's a maniac? And for anyone that doesn't know, my dad wasn't really aware of the full extent of my career. He sort of knew about it, but I don't think he realized like everything, which is fine. Like he's on a bit of a need to know basis, but this reporter told him everything, which is like so not her place. Obviously, that was a conversation that I planned to have with my dad, one-on-one, me telling him, and I felt so bad that he found out because a fucking news reporter from the Daily Mail shows up at his house. Like, it's not like I'm famous. Like, who am I? Why would someone drive 2 hours out of Melbourne to get a statement on me? Like, obviously, there's all these news articles going around about me at the moment, which, like, great for my OF. I'm loving it. But, like, I keep my family very private. So for me, that was just, like, a huge invasion of privacy, and it scared the absolute shit out of me, to be honest with you. And so I reached out to a few of my contacts, and then I also reached out to the Daily Mail themselves. They called me and they were basically like, well, we didn't know that your dad didn't know about your OF because you always see your family so supportive. I'm like, yeah, when I was talking about my family, I was talking about like my mom, my stepdad, my brother, my sister. I didn't go into specifics. Like, that is just not your place to drive 2 hours to my dad's house and ask him for a statement. Anyway, my dad told them to fuck off. And then he called me. So I get a call at 7 a.m. I'm like, Dad, what's up? Like, why are you calling me so early? He's like, are you a maniac? I'm like, oh my God. No, but he was fine. I explained to him what I do for work and he was actually really understanding. And I feel like maybe he already knew. Like, I have a feeling people have said things to my mum before. So like, if they said things to her, they probably said things to my dad, and he just like doesn't want to talk to me about it, which is fine because it is an awkward topic for a dad to speak to their daughter about. But he was totally fine with it. I explained to him, he was like, that's okay. I just wanted to check. Like, I want to make sure that you're safe and you're happy and like blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I knew he was always going to be supportive. It's just such an awkward topic to bring up with your father. Like, I am a daddy's girl and like, I'm daddy's little girl. I don't know. Anyway, like, I'm his little baby, you know?
Her parents must be so unbelievably ashamed. The shame her father must have felt is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I feel so sorry for her dad. Even if he might say he's okay with this, he definitely isn't. Imagine raising your daughter from a baby only for her to one day start getting destroyed by any man with a pulse online for money. And the crazy thing is, she was happy with what she was doing and it was empowering until her father found out. She openly appeared on podcasts and spoke to news outlets embracing the label of Australia's most sexually active woman and bragged about how her family are all supportive of her. But for some reason, when her real father got told about it, then all of a sudden she had a problem with it. Don't you think this is completely sus? This is how you know she's emotionally damaged and totally full of BS. She says she wants to keep it private from her family, but happily puts out public TikToks talking about being filled by a guy like a cream donut. Absolutely disgusting behavior. And let's talk about the father for a moment. She mentioned in this video that no matter what, her father is going to be supportive. I'm going to say it. Her father failed her. Here's what happens when you refuse to establish any boundaries with your children and claim to support them 100% regardless of the things they do or say. You blindly reinforce self-destructive behavior in your children. And this train wreck of a woman is the result. I guarantee you, her father is a wet blanket who has no voice in his marriage or his relationship with his daughter. If that man can't speak up and tell his daughter how her actions make him feel, then feminism has truly infected him too. Because that's what it does. It shames masculinity and gives women a get-out-of-jail-free card to do what they want. And the result is a father completely failing to teach his daughter the difference between good and bad. And now his daughter's sense of morality is as patchy as her false tan. And one of the worst things about this is that she's going to be someone's mother one day. And by that point, 1,000+ videos will be all over the internet of her being obliterated, ran through, and gangbanged. But like a terrible tattoo of your ex's name on your chest, you're guaranteed to regret it sooner or later. But unlike a tattoo, these videos will be impossible to get rid of. When they're on the internet, they're there forever. And this isn't even talking about the effect this has on her body. By the time she has a kid, she won't even need to push it out. It'll stroll out on its own, swinging the umbilical cord like Frank Sinatra swinging an umbrella in the rain. But it wasn't long before her challenge lost momentum. Soon the date slowed to a crawl and she had to take a break. I guess reality was hitting her a little too hard and she couldn't face the truth. Last year was meant to be my year of dating. I went on 6 dates and they were all immediate no's for me and I got tired of it. So I took a break in May. And according to this article, now seemingly bored of dating and not willing to wait around for Mr. or Mrs. Right, Annie has decided to set herself a third challenge to start 2024 off with a bang. The challenge? Sleeping with 365 people over 365 days. Yup, that's sleeping with one person a day for a whole year. I guess you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them stop having sex with everyone. She was so close to building a shred of dignity, but it was all too much for her to handle. Now she's back to the hollow, meaningless casual sex. Good luck to her, I guess. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.